7 o'clock, and we do have a quorum, so we'll call this meeting of the Affordable Housing Trust to order. The members are all in person, but we do have our attorney Kathleen O'Donnell online and town planner Fiona Coughlin. So I don't think we have to do a roll call. Excellent. So the first thing on the agenda is to review the draft agreement that Kathleen put together for us. So I can, Kathleen, do you want to run through it real quick? Would you rather have us go through it? How would you prefer to do that?
Well, I mean, it's pretty simple. There's obviously some things that, I don't know is how much you wanted to ask for. And other than that, I think it's pretty, it's pretty basic. That, you're going to be getting this money from the CPA. You're going to only be using it for, the acquisition of community housing, getting a deed restriction. So it has a little bit more strings on it than, than a straight off grant. But that's because the Community Preservation Act requires certain things. And so that's really what, as I said, it's pretty basic. It's the same sort of one that I've used for the Community Preservation Committee that I'm a member of, with our grants to the Affordable Housing Trust. So I just didn't know whether you folks had any questions, concerns, things that I left out, etc.
All right, so I'll open it up to you guys. Do you guys have any questions or anything you wanted to? Okay. So the first, whereas I did email the town clerk who's looking into the article and meeting date for when the Affordable Housing Trust was formed. It was the early 2000s, but it looks like we needed those blanks to be filled in.
Well, we could leave that out, I think. I mean, I just sort of put it in there as an intro to sort of explain what the Affordable Housing Trust kind of was, just so that, that we're specifically organized. But if she can't find it, we can always take that paragraph out.
Okay. We'll just give it a minute to see, what they can. Fiona.
Hi. I think I have it. I'm sorry. If everyone was waiting on that information, that's my fault. I should have that in the planning files. I think it's 07 in the paperwork, so I'll make sure that you all get that.
Okay. Awesome. So the next two, whereas I just was gonna cross those out, because we didn't want to do this as frequently where we're going to be having to put like a dollar amount each time. I guess we were kind of envisioning this agreement as like a one-time agreement saying that,
I think we talked about that last time, and it ended up being that we had to kind of make it a template where we could fill in the.
I don't see how you can do it as a one-time agreement because it has to be voted every year.
Right. So can we just do it as like a 10% pending town meeting vote?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, you could put it in as, that's what you're going to be asking for is the 10% that's set aside under the Community Preservation Act.
Yes.
I'll just draft it that way. Okay.
And then if there's additional asks, then it goes through the normal CPC process.
Oh, no, it'll still go through this normal CPPC process anyway.
Right, but it wouldn't be like, it wouldn't need an additional grant. Like, let's say we had like a rental assistance program, which I know the Housing Authority did, but if let's say the Affordable Housing Trust comes up with an idea in addition to the 10% that we get, it wouldn't be covered in this agreement. It would just be like it's one-off project.
Yeah, that would be like, for example, we have, you can do a sort of an ask for that 10%, but let's say, there's a project that comes before us and it's, major amounts of money. And we want to do it, that we would be asking for that to be a separate, and it would be tied to that particular project.
Right. And we wouldn't need grant agreements necessarily for those, right? This
No.
is just.
Well, I mean, it depends upon how your Community Preservation Committee likes to do things. Everybody's different.
Okay.
In some towns that I've worked in, everybody gets a grant agreement, whether it's the Concom or the Public Works Department or the Parks and Rec. Everybody gets a grant agreement. Others don't care about it. So it's just kind of whatever their practice is.
Okay. So far in Grafton, it's been nobody really, between the Affordable Housing Trust and CPC, it wasn't really on anybody's radar. And then, looking through the coalition website, it says we should have one. So we're just trying to satisfy having one. I know the CPC in Grafton hasn't had a discussion about this yet. However, one member did take a look at the draft that was in our packet and they sent me some of their thoughts.
Okay,
but it's hard. It's I might just forward you their thoughts for you
Okay.
to review, but it's just that individual's thought. It's not the committee hasn't had a discussion about it yet.
okay.
Hello, we're talking about the grant agreement. If you had any thoughts or opinions on it.
Okay.
Okay. And then in section 8, so
Yeah,
one of the big things that's happening with between the CPC and the Affordable Housing Trust right now is our record keeping.
Yep.
We haven't always kept the CPA money separate when it comes to the Affordable Housing Trust, and we're actively trying to tease that out. But there was language in number 8. I don't know if we could reference the MGL chapter 218 acts of 2016, the Act of Modernization of Municipal Finance, where it tells us we have to tease it out. It's not.
I don't need to do that. I mean, we could put that citation in, but I think it's simple enough to just say you have to do that.
Okay.
And I don't think that needs a particular citation. You should be doing that anyway, because as I said, the CPC money has more, restrictions on it than, let's say, somebody just left you $1 billion out of their will. The CPA Act requires has certain requirements for the expenditure of affordable housing money. So it's not, you can't use it for staff. You can't use it for, donuts at a party, any number of
I
things.
think we can use some of it for staff.
Yeah. But I mean, but you can't, that's the CPC that can use it for staff. And you can use it, let's say, if we were doing a housing production plan or some sort of thing like that. But we have to always segregate that CPC money.
Doesn't it say that 10% of it can be used towards staff, though, administrative costs?
In this, it does. In this agreement, I think we did say we could.
Yep. That's
Yeah.
section 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just, the reason I segued with that, and I totally agree with you, we should be keeping it all separate, but currently we're not, so we're having a difficult time teasing it all out to
Yeah.
achieve that. So that brings me to number 10, where in the event the trust fails to fulfill its obligations, it's currently not fulfilling its obligations. So I just don't,
Uh-huh.
and again, the CPC needs to talk about it, and I know that that's going to be something everybody's really interested in, is that part of the record keeping. So I know,
Well,
and I agree we need to have it
guess-
done, but
Yeah, I mean, I think if this should be recast a bit because we're not tying it to a particular project. So we're not getting, I mean, what we are supposed to be using the money for, it says in this agreement, is for the acquisition of real estate or acquisition of affordable housing restrictions. However, we get them. And so, let's say, for example, with these new ADUs that people can build in their backyard, we get somebody who says, well, I'm going to do mine for affordable housing, and I'm willing to put, a restriction on my house, on my new ADU. And so that would be an affordable housing restriction that we would get for the Affordable Housing Trust, and we might pay the person some money to do that. And so that would be a good use of CPC money. So that you'd have the tract with, okay, fine, Fred, built us something in his backyard. We gave him, $20,000 to put an affordable housing restriction on it, and he was happy as a clam, and so were we, and that was CPC money. So I guess at the moment we don't really know what you're going to be using that 10% thing for, but if that's the idea that all the affordable housing money is set aside for the CPC is going to go to you, this is all going forward. So it's not going to be penalizing you for past things. You don't have a past grant agreement. So this is only prospective.
yeah.
Yep. The next fiscal year. So it gets voted in your Springtown meeting. You won't get the money until July anyway.
Okay.
because it'll be voted, at the, so you have you have time to sort of get everything in place.
Yep.
But it doesn't talk about past money.
Okay. That act that I referenced, so that one does, saying that even it's not a starting now point, we have to tease it all out. So I guess that's why I referenced it. But if you're saying
Well,
it's not that necessary, I'm fine with.
I missed the citation. I got section 18, but I didn't get the first part.
Okay, so I can just email it to you if that's easier. But it's
Okay.
yeah, I can. You have her email, right? Okay, I can email it to you later, and you can take a look at it
Okay.
if that's easier. Okay. I got it off the coalition website. That's where I found it.
Oh, okay. Okay. I can look.
Dan, did you have any comments about the grant agreement? No. Matt, did you have any comments about the grant
I
agreement?
did not.
Okay. So yeah, if that's it, you'll just send us out another draft, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll send it tomorrow.
All right, great. And then we'll probably have the CPC meet and them discuss it before we bring it back to see if they have any revisions
Yeah.
or ideas. Okay.
Sure.
Perfect. All right. Well, if that's it, go enjoy your. Oh, the only other question is the draw request for 18. Did you see any issues with that for the next
No.
chance? Okay, great. Well,
I just want to make sure that we're all keeping track of how much money they're getting. And so, we're not going to give them there's sort of deliverables for the amount of money. And I just want to make sure that we're making sure that they're making the progress that they should be making for those disbursements.
they did just come meet with the select board recently and kind of reviewed some of those deliverables with them.
Yep. Yeah, she was there.
Perfect.
Love the sweaters.
Well, enjoy your night singing.
Yeah, you can hear the alto part for Adeste Fidelis. So yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Have a lovely holiday, everybody.
You too.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
So Ed could not make the meeting tonight, and he has asked that we pass over the goals workshop. And is just gonna make sure everybody's okay with that. Great.
Are we gonna wear the Christmas sweaters for the next when it's rescheduled?
No, but he will have to.
Okay.
We
Oh.
won't, but he will have to.
That seems
so
fair.
that's how we'll handle that one. So then the next thing is the bill schedule for GSX. They have draw request number 18 for a total of $22,034.78. If anybody has any questions, great. If not, I can take a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Second.
All right, motion is second. There's nobody on Zoom, so all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And then we just had meeting minutes for November 6th and November 19th. I can take a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All right, motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Clearly the motion carried. All right, we can take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, have a good night, everybody. Thank you. Sorry, Fiona.
That's okay. See you next time.